I don't make the rules.
What's up, Joe? What's up, man? How are you? So good to see you, Jimmy. Morning, yeah, awesome.
Unbelievable. Just is what it is. We'll just call that unbelievable. And oh no, there we go. And I'll turn the bubbles off. Okay, welcome back. That's it. We did it. I loved watching that Breakfast Club video.
So did I.
I literally just walked around and I was like, this is easy. I'm going to do this every week.
It worked. It was fun to watch.
All right, now let's see if either of these are our guests. They're not, but we are live on YouTube. Email confirms that. Welcome back to you. Welcome back to our friends at home. Welcome back to the Late Night Playset. My name is Jay Ryan. To my right over here is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and we've got a fun show for you this evening. Our new friend, a guy we really like, a guy I followed for a while. His handle, you know him, is LA Car Spotter. His real name is Cody Lewis. He's going to be here hopefully in a few minutes. We're live at 4 minutes after 5, and he was supposed to be here at 5, and he hasn't contacted, but he posted that he was going to be here and everything. So, assuming that that all will be well on that. First of all, let's do the check-ins. How are you? I haven't seen you at all today. 2 seconds earlier, that was it.
I'm fine other than my legs, so I'm going to go with fine.
Yeah. Is it safe to say your legs just don't work anymore? I mean, I don't mean to be that.
That's a very succinct way to say that.
Sorry.
All good.
I know it sounds like a bummer, though. Safe to say your legs don't work anymore? Yeah.
It's
Sure
better
is.
in a weird way to not think about it. Maybe they will.
Okay.
So I'm going with it.
Otherwise, you feel okay? Mm-hmm. Head-wise, you feel you seem fine?
Mm-hmm.
You're not cold?
I warmed in there, and I have a layer underneath.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That makes sense. She came out into the studio before where it's cold. We keep it cold on purpose because the guests get warm and the lights make it warm, et cetera, et cetera. And I was cold in here dressed like this, so I thought you'd be freezing. I'm glad you're not. Killing time? Sure, you bet. We saw that video from Breakfast Club before. That was when we first arrived. That was way before it got crowded. Mm-hmm. It got to the point where there was no room for cars in the parking lot, and that was, I think, because Sean Lee had a big, the Purist Group had a big roll up to come meet us. Which was awesome and fun, and the cars and the people were fantastic. But I will say this, Breakfast Club was bigger than it had ever been, and it was like overwhelmingly so.
Yeah, people kept telling me how big it was. I'm like,
Because you're stuck in one place.
yeah, and I'm like, I know it's huge.
Wild. Yeah, really, really wild. It didn't feel like Breakfast Club sometimes because of that a little bit. And I mean, that's, whatever, it is what it is. It just got busy. I'm not complaining. But I will say this. David and I took a drive. We did one of our What Are You Driving Today segments. And we took a drive in Pete McNulty's old 356. You'll see the video next week. But more than the joy we had driving that car, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, we got a little bit of a break.
Get a break.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
Yeah, I talked to him the whole time you were gone for that reason. There was just so many people.
Friday felt more like a car show, and it doesn't usually.
Right. It was not as intimate, but it was nice to see people.
Oh, it was great to see people, and the generosity. Everybody brought different stuff. Yellow car was covered in different types of baked goods, and there was bagels.
That
and
was the coolest.
obviously, we brought a couple dozen donuts, but then there were also like somebody else brought donuts from Randy. Somebody else brought donuts from another place. Then there was Sean Lindauer brought
The vegan
not gluten.
donut.
That's right, vegan donuts. And gluten free probably too, or maybe not. I don't know. But I'm trying to think. There was homemade goods, and then did I say bagels? Somebody brought bagels. It was
I don't
crazy.
think, yeah, it was amazing.
Whoever's in the Audi, you probably can't hear that. There's a dogfight going on backstage. We can hear it. What was I just about to say? Oh, whoever is in the Audi RS3 who's been bringing bagels lately, good on you, bud. Love the bagels.
Thank you.
Not you don't have to keep doing it, but I just wanted to show my appreciation because I don't know your handle. I don't know you. I don't think we've ever talked, but you're very nice and you're very generous, and we're glad you come up. So there you go. There's that. Well, I'm a little bit out of sorts. I'm like, well, boy, I don't know what to do with our. Should I reach out to our guest? I would imagine that. Oh, here we go. 3 new messages from the fucking traffic. Arrival is 5:05. I'm trying to beat it though. 2 minutes. All good. Here. Let's all do this together. All good. Oh, look, this is great. Yeah, look, it's all fine. We're just here on the air. Oh. Allow replay. Send. All right. So at least we know he's coming now. I can relax.
Cool. Is he the guy I confused with someone else the other day?
Long list. I don't know.
I got really big and excited.
No, that was weird. That
know.
That felt like old you, phony Hollywood
I know,
shit.
and it was on my head. Like, I deheated right away.
No. Oh, funny though, because his name is Cody too, isn't it? No, Kobe.
Yeah.
Colby. Cody. No, he might be Cody as well.
The
Red 944 guy.
I only heard the first name.
Ah, shit, you might be right. He might be a Cody or a Kobe. Whatever. He's a nice guy too, but you're right. No, that was weird. This is not him. This is the guy. I'll tell you. Well, I've got stuff to do. I do want to tell you that if you get a chance, please watch the episodes from last week if you haven't seen them yet. Pinstripe Chris was here on Tuesday, and Kayla, the car girl, was here on Thursday. Great shows, great guests. They're both awesome people. Please follow them on Instagram at their requisite handles that I'll put in the bottom. Or just go look at those shows because it's already in the bottom of those ones. But highly recommend because they're great guests and they had a lot to say. And I even shut up for once, which was nice. But you'll have to watch both to see which one. I'm just kidding. The comments on the Misha episode. By the way, again, shout out to Misha Mansour, who has now become our most viewingest episode. He shot up past Ann Anstead.
Whoa.
I know. Quickly. Come on in. And you get to see this. Our guest is here as well. But anyway, shout out to Misha. And the comments in that one were, how much you... What's up, brother? Have a seat in the white chair and we'll bring you in just 1 second. Cody's here, everybody. Your mic is hot if you need it.
Oh, it's hot, is it?
You relax, and this water is poured here for you, and the mic has been swabbed, and we're happy you're here. Just you relax.
Great. That's what I'm excited for.
Poor guy's been stuck in traffic. I've been there. Luckily, this isn't anything important. We're just on the air.
Terrible second impression.
No, I was just about to tell people that she was wondering how we. Do you remember him now?
Yeah.
We were parked on PCH the other day after being shut out of all the places on Malibu because of Malibu shutting out people from their places. Anyway, we pulled over to the side of the road over there in like by Neptune's Net, like up just on PCH. In fact, pretty much the area, like right from Fast and the Furious, right? Yeah. So we were over there, Auto Kennel, Sean Lindauer, a couple other guys. And then the cool Audi wagon shows up with the rally lights and the shit on the roof. And we were like, all right, I finally get to meet this guy. This is cool. Because I think I've actually talked to you and stuff, like at Bluey's. But like just didn't make the connection because unless you're next to the car that you're talking about, you don't really get it. So anyway, it's him. He came and checked it out, and we ended up spending some time together. And I want you to tell the story of what happened when the cops showed up because I wasn't there. I was down in the ocean. But I want to hear because everybody says something happened. The cops showed up, and apparently they were talking to us. So you guys, don't say it now. Well, wait till he's there. I almost did the same thing. All right, so that's what we have to do. Kayla, Pinstripe Chris from last week. Breakfast Club was off the hook. I hope it's not as big this week. Stop talking about it. That makes sense. Sure. All right. The only two things we have to do tonight, we have one thing really, but it's two pieces. East Coast feed. And technically it's 4 pieces, but I want to break it up throughout the week. The first two were at JFK, but I wanted to wait till our guest was here. And I'm glad you're here because you're kind of a mid-century guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this first one is from JFK, but more specifically from the TWA Hotel.
Oh.
As you know, the old Saarinen building. Terminal 5.
Neat.
All right, so checking in with East Coast Feed, Danbury Chive, Brooke and the Kazman. I didn't. They're in here somewhere. Here we go. Roll it out.
Yes, you are. Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, East Coast Feed, coming to you from Terminal 5 or Terminal 4? Terminal 5, JFK, JetBlue is right across the way, but this is pretty cool. It's the old, okay, here's Brooke. There you go.
Table 11.
And check this out, as we spin around, it's all done in retro 60s style.
And the landing strip.
There's a landing strip over here. If you can't see it, it's right there. Boom.
Fake.
This is the old TWA terminal. They converted it into a hotel, and we're on our way to Mexico, right?
Yes.
Playa del Carmen. We're heading there tomorrow morning in Panama Jacks. We're going to be there. We'll be sending some East Coast feeds from there. Brooke's there. There's a lot of Brooke. My arm isn't that long for the selfie thing here. Anyway, it's it's old retro 60s, playing 60s music. They filmed Catch Me If You Can? Here, boom, there it is. And this is what it looks like. It's called the Sunken Lounge. I even already got a coaster, because, fuck it. Brooke loves coasters. And that's it. And there's a big plane out there. You can't really see it. It's behind the ticky thing.
Why don't you walk over there?
Oh, yeah, I can walk over there. That's a great idea. I'm probably going to get yelled at for not wearing a mask, but fuck it, who cares? Anyway, let's take a look. Here we go. There's an old TWA plane right there, and it's a
Constellation.
It has a restaurant in it, but it's kind of closed because of the COVID thing. But apparently when there's alcohol and food, COVID can't get you, or after 10 o'clock at night.
You should show the line before one bar.
Oh, there's one bartender. He's all the way over there. Look at this line of people. And that's me and Jody's fault because we ordered 6 drinks. So,
Because of the line.
right, exactly.
the line.
That's it, yeah. Say goodnight, everybody.
The line is that long, I'd get multiple. You
Hi,
have to have
guys.
a concert or something.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yep, sorry. having our own little sidebar here. A couple things to say about that. One, I love that place. I used to exclusively fly into that place because it was like whatever back in that doesn't matter. He used to always pick me up when I first moved out here. I would always fly there because I loved that building. I loved that. I still love that building. I'm thrilled that it's a hotel and open to the public again because for a long time it was only open for filming locations. Like JetBlue used the I don't know, the facilities of it, but not like the actual what you just saw there. They used like the airport facilities, all of the resources.
So
and
this
everything.
is newish.
Yeah, it only opened I think maybe 2 years ago, maybe. But after like 10-year project. I mean, this has been in the works for a long ass time. The guy who got the money together and the investors. So only the terminal, what you see there is the real thing. The landing strip and everything in the back there. They put a pool on the roof and everything. A pool at JFK.
That's
I know
ridiculous.
it's a great idea, like on paper, but if you've ever been there, dear Lord, you don't want to be outside. You don't want to
Nope.
be. It's cold. It's gross. Anyway, they put up the hotel part is all brand new. So when you stay in the hotel, it's all brand new.
That part's super neat.
Anyway, I love the building. I love the history. Designed by Eero Saarinen, same guy who did the GM Design Center out in Detroit.
Oh,
And
the
your chair that
table-
you sit in the other room, the womb chair.
I love that
Yeah.
chair. And the tables, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the tulip table, exactly right. Yeah, good stuff. Look at you. Somebody's learning. And who designed the chair you're in there?
I don't remember.
Sure you do. The other famous one. The House
I
in
don't remember
Palisades.
the names.
Eames.
Oh, jeez. Now I know.
All right.
Recall's bad.
So the plane outside that he was referring to was called. It's actually a Constellation, and it's an old plane that's period correct for the time, and it's a cocktail bar. It's like a VIP cocktail lounge. It's not a restaurant. It's tiny inside, really small. So I don't want him to feel like he missed out. It's not that bad. Okay, part 2 of that, and then moving on. All right, East Coast feed still there at JFK Terminal 5, the TWA Airport Hotel. Roll it out.
Okay, East Coast feed part 2. Me and Jody
Outside.
chilling at TWA Airlines Terminal landing strip. Jody, where's the landing strip? There it is. Boom. Okay. The girls are inside. Can we see them right there? They're right there. That's Sarah and Brooke right there. Me and Jody walk into the plane, the TWA plane. There's a restaurant in this plane, but it's closed because of COVID. But in the freezing cold, in a t-shirt, you can go out here. Let's take a look, shall we? Boom. Look at this. Look at this, internets. Jody, what do you think? Pretty cool? I like it. This is a restaurant in the TWA terminal up that walkway. This is how we do. This is how it is. East Coast feed coming to you live. Part 2, TWA Airport, Terminal 5, JetBlue. Boom.
You can tell when the alcohol sinks in, when it starts to take effect.
Yeah.
He was starting to get loud inside, like, I don't care about the man. And then now we're outside. Like, fucking cold, I got my t-shirt on. Ah.
Yeah.
I love you, Kaz, man. I love you. I love that you guys are there. They are currently now, they've left the TWA hotel, and they are now in
They're
Mexico.
in Mexico.
So we have feeds for that we'll play on Thursday.
Cool.
That makes sense. They go from the cold weather t-shirt Constellation at JFK to like the Brooke in a bikini and the cleavage in Mexico. So stay tuned for all that on Wednesday. Or Thursday, rather.
Cool.
It's Big Boobs Thursday.
Not mine.
I don't know. I haven't watched them yet. I'm just making a prediction. If they're all in Mexico, it's going to be good times. Because I'm assuming there's going to be alcohol in Mexico.
Probably.
They don't turn that off there.
No.
I think they turn it on. Okay, I got to tell you real quick about Cruise into Wellness. Remember when we were on the show last week? We talked about, boy, wouldn't it make sense if we had a promo code? We do. I've been doing it wrong. Is what it is, and what's new about that? Okay, so for 20% off your order at Cruise into Wellness, anybody, thanks for watching the show. For you, knowing me and her, you will get 20% off your order at cruiseintowellness.com by using promo code late night. One word. I think it's all capital, but I don't think it matters. Late night for 20% off your order at CBD Cruise into Wellness.
That's pretty rad.
It is pretty rad. When I asked him about it, he was like, "Yeah, no, I gave you one." And when he told me the percentage, because I was expecting, I don't know, 10%, like just to say you did. Look, we gave you a discount. 20% is like decent. Decent. That pays for your taxes and whatever else. You know what I mean?
That's remarkable.
Yeah. So it's a great deal, and they've got fantastic products. Highly recommend. This rub is my favorite. It's the eucalyptus one. I put it like Vicks Vapor Rub. If you want to look at a dead body, you put some right here, just like the movies.
And I'm a big fan of the tinctures, personally. So
Tinctures for her. I stopped taking them because he's sending another package. I talked today. I stopped taking them because I wanted you to have them. But what I really liked also was the gummies, the CBD gummies.
yeah,
Like both daytime and nighttime, because they don't fuck with your head.
they don't. The tinctures are good to sleep. Like it knocks my body out, but the gummies taste good.
Yeah, they do. They taste better than the non-CBD. Well, that's not, what do you call it? Cannabis. The THC ones. Yeah, tastes better than the pot ones. I'm so old. In my mind, everything's a pot brownie. I don't know if anybody who watches this show knows this about me, but like I didn't do any types of cannabis products until a couple of years ago when she got sick, and that's when we started looking at it and watching Vice, Viceland, things like that, and getting educated. Because otherwise, all my friends smoked pot growing up, but I was the guy who drove. You know what I mean? I was the straight edge kid who didn't drink, didn't smoke, nothing.
I just drink
Whipping
a lot.
e-brakes on the highway, running from the cops and everything else. Good boy. Anyway, Cruise into Wellness. Okay, so go to cruisintowellness.com, or if you go to Instagram, it's Cruise into Wellness CBD, and cruisintowellness.com, the Z. Screw it. Need a lift lately? Cruise into a healthy 2021 with Cruise into Wellness CBD. The cruise is with a Z. Cruisintowellness.com. And as I mentioned, because I'm hitting this hard, 20% off. Use promo code late night. Right on the heels of that, don't do these two things together. We're going to go from your medicinal cannabis to my auto insurance. St. Clair Insurance. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance is coverage for your toys. In our case, it would be yellow car. It would be our home and our home studio here. These are all our toys. We have some movie collectibles, things like that here at the home. Certainly a lot of equipment here in the studio. For some people, it might be their multiple automobile collection. For some people, it might be their multi-million-dollar automobile collection. Can't recommend enough Haggerty Insurance. And if you have the Haggerty Insurance, I can't recommend enough getting that rep. By rep, I mean a representative, not like getting a good rep for having insurance. You want a good reputation when you have insurance. You want to tell everybody you got Haggerty because, you know, their eyebrows raise and they go, oh, good for you. I swear, there's nothing else in this, but it has gone straight to my head. I'm in a great mood. All right. St. Clair Auto Insurance. Cruise into... St. Clair Auto Insurance. CoverageForYourToys.com. CoverageForYourToys.com.
CoveredForYourToys.com.
She makes it look good at the end. Check out Jeff St. Clair. All right. Now we've done it, right? Now we're good.
I believe so.
Cody, you good?
I'm good.
We're all loosened up for you.
I was gonna say, you sure you didn't do any pod before this?
It really feels like it now. Well, also, my head is like... I usually put that on before bed. And it's got the eucalyptus feel. So even though I don't know that mentally I'm affected, I do have like a weird thing going on.
You start slumping off in the middle.
Oh, I did this too. So I've got like that's what's going on. I've got a couple
smelling it
things going
constantly.
on. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we wasted enough time here. Let us get our guest in here, Cody. Cody Lewis is a LA car spotter, if you know him on Instagram. We know him as the guy with the cool green Audi. Cody, come on in, brother. Like I said, that water is good for you, and I'm just going to move the camera around real quick. Feel free to have a seat and move the mic wherever you like.
Well, thanks for having me. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Thanks for being here, man.
Man, this is quite an impressive setup, I gotta say.
What did you think you would see?
No, I mean, like, I always saw this, but I didn't expect to see it so, like, I mean, it's very official. It's extremely official in here.
It's
This is legit.
Smaller than you would think. A lot of people always generally say it's smaller.
Yeah, I mean,
Or are
I
you
feel
used to
like-
that?
Not that I'm used to it, not that I'm like on
Oh, I didn't-
camera all the time, but I did go to like Universal Studios and see like, you know, sets of TV shows that were smaller that I expected to be bigger. I went to like the Friends coffee shop
Oh, yeah.
at one point, and that was smaller, much smaller than I thought it was.
100%.
Yeah, so-
Did you go to a friend's taping or something?
Um,
Oh, they have the
no,
coffee shop set up in the
that's-
prop
yeah.
department, so you can
I'm,
go visit.
I'm
it.
not that old.
You
I
seem like
watched
a
a
kid,
bunch
but
of Friends. No, I used to watch a ton of Friends, but I would be a young child if I were to be on an episode.
No, I thought maybe if you went to a taping.
No, but they have like the set. They have.
He's like, no, I'm trying to tell you, I'm 20 years old.
No, I'm 31. I'm 31, and so I'm not like super young, but I'm not super old either. So I'm old enough to have watched Friends, but not old enough to have been to a taping or like I don't know.
She and I both went, coincidentally, way before we knew
Went
each other,
to
coincidentally
taping.
happened to be at the same taping, when the second to last episode or something. And it
Was
just
that
a
me
coincidence.
just like accidentally calling you guys old? I didn't mean to.
Oh, I don't know if it was an accident or not, but we felt it because you pointed out a very good point. It was like, in our mind, that show's current, but it went off the air in like 2004.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say like I
In
well,
my
I
mind,
guess
that's
it went
still
off the air in 2004.
94 to 2004, I'm pretty sure, because I worked at the practice when they said goodbye and when,
Oh,
when we
okay,
went
so
to that
then I was
taping.
old enough. That I was like well into high school and
Seinfeld,
that point.
no.
No,
That would have been the
Seinfeld, no.
90s.
no. But I've seen every episode of Seinfeld probably 10 times. Friends less.
Is that because of the show being so good and
Yes.
obviously, or the car connection with Jerry and everything, or both?
Oh no, that's like because I grew up in New York and like the show is just so it's just so relatable and but at the same time it's also hilarious that most watching it now you realize that most of the conundrums that they experience in their episodes could have been solved with cell phones. Like getting lost in the parking garage and
Oh,
not being
that's
able
a
to
good one.
find Kramer and like if they had cell phones that episode would not have existed. They wouldn't have had that.
Almost every sitcom in general, it's like there has to be some sort of misunderstanding. You know,
Yeah.
there has to be some sort of like, Jackie thinks Chrissy's pregnant, you know? But it turns out it was just a stuffed dummy, you know, whatever the heck. So maybe, yeah, I guess so. So maybe sitcoms are hard to do today. And maybe that's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
point because of, it's hard to relate to, boy, there's a lot of stories that can be, we don't live in between the lines anymore.
I was
Everything
going to
is so
say, like a lot of
transparent.
these sitcoms, there's a lot of bouncing around because they're often now picking up a cell phone and the car, and then you got somebody else in another location, and you're like shooting all over. But
I think of Modern Family. You're right. It was kind of like that.
yeah,
Oh man, are you a TV guy?
I watch a lot of. I'm a couch guy.
Okay,
So I have
fair
my
enough.
TV on fairly often, but
Well, in addition to the 20% off of Cruising to Wellness that you could certainly have, thanks for being here in person because you get a $50 gift certificate to
Oh.
Cruising to Wellness simply for being here
Oh,
in person
that's
today.
awesome.
So
that's awesome.
if you're a
I
couch
do-
guy, I didn't know if that's what you
Yeah, I
meant.
was gonna say I do wellness.
He's
I'm a
healthy.
wellness guy.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to get to know you. I'm super stoked about the other day, just hanging out on the side of the road. That was
Totally.
fun. I'm super stoked that you're here today, like already so quickly. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure, I'll
for
be a guest. Yeah, here I am. And we put it together like rapidly. I want to get to know you. I want to figure out what you're all about. I didn't know you were from New York. She's from upstate. I'm from Connecticut.
Oh,
so
dope.
there's that as well. Perhaps
Long Island.
sensibilities. Where on Long Island?
Oh man, if I say
Oh,
no, I'm from Roslyn, Nassau County.
okay.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you say that? Is that
it's
for the
funny
folks at home?
because when I actually for East Coast and especially like Northeast people, you guys kind of get it, and you know that there's a difference between like
Suffolk
New
and-
York and Long Island and Suffolk and Nassau
Yeah.
and like New Jersey, like because of the Jersey Shore, people from California they didn't know Long Island existed until the Jersey Shore, and then they just kind of associated.
Was
all
Long
of
Island
that.
on the Jersey Shore?
I think
And
I
that's
think
bullshit.
one or two of the people from the Jersey Shore were from Long Island
Oh,
or
that makes
something.
sense.
So they kind of had this like South Shore, Long Island, almost, very Italian inspired.
guest over here. Sorry about that. There we go. That's pretty. Because I'm thinking if it was Snooki and the Situation, right? That's the only.
Yeah, I mean,
When
like
they made
it
headlines,
was
that's when I
totally
knew about it.
Jersey Shore. I mean, they were Jersey people, but I don't think that they were like all from New Jersey.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah, no, I think it was all just a big sham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit. All right. Well, you're from Nassau. I'm trying to think. Nassau.
I'm
we
a
used to go
real
to the, like,
life Long Island person.
that's where like the monster truck shows were when I was a kid at Nassau Coliseum. And
Yeah,
everything.
I went to
Bigfoot, Barefoot,
college.
Gravedigger!
I went to college
Sunday,
right
Sunday,
next to
Sunday. Next to.
I had a. never
I did
mind.
that too. That's my fault.
Yes, I went to college at Hofstra University,
you're
which
right
was
there.
literally
Right there.
next to it, like literally, and yeah. So
guys shared a parking
I've
garage,
definitely
didn't
been to a Monster Jam or two.
I totally brought that up as a joke, but we did go to
No,
like,
Nassau
Ice-Capades, all that
Coliseum
stuff was
all
there
the
when I was a
time.
kid.
Yeah, I've been to so many Dave Matthews concerts, stuff like that. It's been, yeah, great memories, fantastic.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out here 6 years.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're established. Like you.
Yeah, and like before that, I was coming out here every so often. So like I would say my experience out in LA has been kind of like 10 years,
Okay.
but I've only lived here for about 6.
Okay. How do you like it, being a New Yorker? I mean, that's extreme.
Oh my God. I mean, right now I love it because everybody at home is just like sending me pictures of snow and the weather app on their phone.
There
and
is
just
that.
like, look at -6 for like the next week. And I'm just like, yeah, we got 70s today. It's going to be a hot one.
Oh, going for another drive.
It's great. I love rubbing it in their face. I mean, there's kind of like it's a gift and a curse. There's really amazing things out here, like the weather and the car culture, and there's a ton of great things, like too many to list. But New York obviously has great things that are just different. Billy Joel, and just like having access to things at any second, at any
Oh
time.
yeah, that's nice.
I mean, and also now it's another one of those states that's just open to do as you eat inside and do.
I was kind of surprised by that video, right?
That's yeah, for sure.
At
I was going to
TWA?
bring that up because it's like he's eating inside, and you can't do that here still.
Yeah, it is
So,
weird.
But yeah, I mean I miss New York. I miss my family and my friends because that's like where the majority of them are. But just like New York City has so many different cultures and there's so much to offer. But then again, like out here, we just have like outdoor stuff. It's amazing. You can ski and surf and mountain bike like in the same weekend.
It's crazy when the people who do that whole the skiing thing in the same day. But then you see people because of Instagram, like people just do it now. Like you see them at the beach in the morning,
Totally.
and then they're skiing up at Mountain High in the
Doing
afternoon.
it just because.
Yeah.
Because they can.
That
But yeah, like-
commercial was ahead of its time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Plus,
with,
what stays
with
in
all
Vegas?
with all the celebrities that were just like in all the. Yeah.
Did you have to do work on that?
Yeah.
You had people
Did
in
you?
it.
Oh man, what firm was that?
They brought it. I don't remember the friend that did it, but they outreach to everyone's.
Yeah, if it was a PSA, it would have been somebody, and then
Yeah.
they just go
Wow.
out to everybody. That's fun.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was a good one.
See, I grew up in New York. Well, you're too young for this probably, but what the hell was it? It was New York, but it was it's the Wilshire Plaza. Dun, 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 dun. It was for Broadway. Do you
No, I
remember
don't
that?
have that
Not at
one.
all. Oh boy, I'm really old there.
No.
What's a bagel? I'm trying to remember the old commercials.
Next thing he's gonna say is, "Where's the beef?"
Where's the
You lost me.
beef? Wendy's. Wendy's. Oh, see, I do remember that commercial. Your parents remember that commercial.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, man. Well, what got you into cars first? And I'm assuming on the East Coast, and then we'll figure it out. The West Coast stuff.
It's
I'm assuming
mean,
you're
it's
into
just-
cars, right?
Yeah, no, cars are cool. They're all right. I'm into cars, yeah, for sure. It's just like in my blood, like trying to trace it back to like what first got me into cars. Like my family wasn't like a big sports family. My dad we went to some baseball and basketball games because he wanted to give us that experience, a couple times.
So you can see what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I didn't watch sports. I didn't care we played sports, and like we played with stuff. And but my family, my father and my uncles, they were always into cars. So I've always been going to car shows. They've always been collecting cars. We've just kind of, it's just been in my blood pretty
you weren't
much.
kidding.
But like, yeah, totally. And I've always been going to the New York Car Show, like the International Car Show at the Javits Center,
Center,
like
yeah.
every single year, and collecting like the biggest bag I could, and every
get all
single
the posters and
flyer and
everything. Yep.
pamphlet from every booth. I'm like, if you didn't come home with like 2 or 3 bags of like every pamphlet, even if it was like Toyota or Scion or something like that, like me and my brother would always like, oh, did you get this one? You get this? Like, so it was
100%.
always. But New York, the car culture is like 2 months, if that,
Show
out
it
of
and
the
put it
year.
away, yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, we have a amazing variety of collections and like hyper super cars, classic cars, like tons of stuff in New York. But yeah, they could really only show it for like a few weeks out of the year and make it to a few different shows. And, but I didn't like come out here for cars or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
There was no,
I like cars so much. I'm going to LA where the car culture is.
like cars just kind of, the whole like LA car spotter thing just kind of like happened. But like, I just grew up with cars. So my uncle collects cars. So he's got a number of American cars, like 58 Corvette and a 68 Impala. And he's got a 69 a Boss, and it's like grabber orange with a orange plaid interior. It's like a one of one spec, and like he's got a whole bunch of American cars. My dad always collected, like, I think he's at 4 SLs right
Oh.
now. He's got like 3 SL 560s, or
my
he's got like
gosh.
2 SL 560s, a SL 500 from like 2000, and
Legitimately
2003.
collecting cars.
Yeah, totally. So like we're like our family, and like my dad loved to not get us, like, I sound like a spoiled brat, but like our parents were so kind to give us cars when we got our license, and when
Hand-me-downs,
those
maybe?
from somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
It was it was rarely their hand me down. It was usually some random person's
Like a
hand me
family
down.
friend type of thing?
A lot of
Neighbor?
the times, but the reason I'm saying this in numbers is because I probably, like, by the time I graduated high school, went through 3 or 4 cars, and then lived in New York until I basically graduated college, and went through another like 3 or 4 cars during that period. So I was like
Are
6
you
or
wrecking
so.
cars, or are you just turning them, flipping
Well,
them?
they would
turning-
always wind up being like $4,000 cars, and something would always wind up getting messed up, and
I
after,
gotcha.
and we were not easy on our cars, so
No,
like
no, I remember
we
those
just
days.
beat the crap out of them, and get all your friends in them, and do donuts in the snow, and like, so I mean, yeah, we would just run them into the ground until they died, and they died pretty often and quickly, and
can
car
relate.
troubles haven't left my life. I'm just, but
Really?
yeah, I just buy newer cars so they last longer. But I mean, I grew up.
I
had,
actually relate to that because I switched to leasing after wrecking a bunch of
Oh,
used
what?
cars, and then it was like, oh, it's easy because you just beat the piss out of it and give it back to the dealer.
Oh man, leasing changed my life, but my parents didn't believe in leasing until like I was like the first person in my family to lease a car, and like my parents literally never leased a car.
Yeah.
They were just like, why would we pay money
just for the
just to give a car back?
depreciation.
But like,
When it makes more sense to buy it after the
oh
depreciation.
my god, well, when your car gets like hit in the snow, and it's just like things fall apart and things break, and like I don't know, it just makes sense to be able to give a car back.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
I loved that no matter what happened to it, it was like BMW's deal. Like it was their,
Oh,
their
yeah.
problem. It was whatever, right down to windshield wipers,
Like
and like everything but
unlimited
tires.
warranties.
Yeah,
Whatever
unlimited
happened
warranties.
to those? Whatever happened to like Jeep?
I think we
and
ruined
Hyundai
it. I
having,
think
like,
people
a
like
hu-
us ruined it.
Totally.
We'd
But
go into the dealership every month going like, I'm paying for perfect. I want it perfect.
I mean, but I was running through like I mean, I was running through old cars. I mean, I had a 91 Nissan Sentra. I had a 2001 Lexus ES300. I had a 98 Mercury Mountaineer. I had an 87.
And you're ping-ponging different
I
types
had,
of cars.
I had an 87 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Oh my God.
Black with a red interior, red bench seat, front seat. Like it was.
Yeah, right out of Donnie Brasco.
Oh my God! Like it was. I had a 91 Infiniti Q45, which was like
The long
which
one,
was
right?
actually Bernie Madoff's brother's car. It was a hand-me-down from Bernie Madoff's brother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the long one, to be a monster V8. Like, yeah. So, but after like you change an alternator, and then this thing breaks, and you change this, and that thing breaks, and it's like, and then you learn at 6 or 7 cars later, like, hey, why don't we just take that $2,000 we were gonna buy that car with and throw it as a down payment on like a Honda Civic, pay $220 a month,
Maybe back then. Yeah.
and then you get a car.
Yeah.
And it's brand new, and you'll never be off on the side of the highway. Like I grew up pushing my car off of the side of the highway.
Dude, I get it. I totally get it.
So, yeah,
I
so-
kind of love you from all that backstory.
Car problems, like having all these issues with the Audi and stuff, like it's just part of the game. If
What
you, like-
issues are you having with the Audi? Are you
I'm
generally-
on my second engine with the Audi, and I've actually, because of the E85 I was running, the wrong spark plugs, and one of the spark plug arms broke off into the cylinder of this one. So this is actually the inside
like can't
wall.
get it out? Like
No,
it's
like
stuck
it,
there?
well, at this point it got vaporized or blown out or something,
my
but
God.
it scratched the cylinder wall, which was the reason why I replaced the first engine, because
Holy crap.
the cylinder wall got scratched.
I had no idea about any of this.
Now
This is the all road, right? Is it an all road? Yeah.
So now I'm like running this engine until I start getting some wicked misfires, and then we'll see what happens when we swap it again or get a new car and
Is it
play
tuned
with
or
that.
anything? Well, you can't say. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's totally stock.
It's
100%.
100%. I don't know. Bleep this all out. It's totally. It's got almost like 375 horsepower.
It's more than stock by a some
Stock
margin,
is
right?
about
300?
210, 220.
So you're significantly like 80% more horsepower.
It's got a bunch of horsepower in it, and that means that, and it's running E85, which actually it has a flex fuel sensor, so that car is meant to run E85.
Okay.
Interesting enough, but yeah, I'm pushing a bit of power, and it's rough on the engines.
Well, I bet it makes that car wake up though, because I mean,
Totally. I mean, if that car goes to sleep at 4,000 RPMs,
Yeah.
and so this just lets it kind of like go beyond that. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy. I'm not blowing the doors off of anybody, but
my mom drove Audis exclusively for years. Like she bought her first one and it changed her life and whatever the fuck.
This is
you
my
know what I mean?
first
It was one of those deals where she just doesn't matter. It was this one, then this 3 years later, another one, 3 years later, another one, whatever. So I grew up driving like only Audis on her side, and I grew to love them through all their quirks and all their weirdness. I always remembered them being slightly. This is the old days. This is before like turbocharging and everything else. They were always slightly underpowered. They were always a little bit heavier, but they always handled great, and everything else was fantastic. They were so comfortable, glued to the road.
I mean, other than just regular engine problems through modification and dealing with different shops, I've had so many nightmares of dealing with different shops and stuff, but I enjoy the car so much that despite all of the issues and quirks and engine replacements and all the shit that I've had to deal with, I love the car so much that I still would replace the engine, or I would get the same exact car and put all new shit on it,
Instead of switch to
I
something
have
else.
I have a Lexus that is like my daily car, but now because of COVID and not having to go commute to my office, I just work from home now. My daily car is it is daily moved across the street for street sweeping, and then for the rest of the week it just sits there. So literally, my daily has gotten 800 miles on it since August. But I just
Become
looked
your
at like my
weekly
little
hassle.
oil change thing, and it was like it's at 26,000 miles. I'm like, okay, how many miles? I'm at 23,000 miles. Like, where did I even go? It was like in August.
Wow.
Yeah, so like that's when COVID hit like hard, and everybody was home and nobody was going
Shelter in
anywhere.
place.
Yeah, and the only thing I was doing was going to car shows.
Yep.
So I was only taking the wagon out.
That's so cool. Well, that's cool to know that your wagon is like your weekend truckster
Well, that's like
too.
my
That's cool to
project
know.
car. Like my wagon was kind of like the LA Car Spotter mascot, and it was intentional for that. I love wagons.
Same.
In New York, I have an E320, a 94 E320. It's red with a tan
Oh,
interior.
wow.
It was my grandmother's.
Whoa.
So it's like literally, she weighs 80 pounds. It doesn't have a wrinkle in the seat.
That's
It
amazing.
still has paper mats from
Plus,
like.
red on beige is cool. Red on
Oh
tan
my
is
god!
cool.
And it has a pinstripe, like hand painted pinstripe, and there's a G on the driver's side door for Gloria from the factory. Like, it's unreal.
G for grandma.
It's yeah, oh hell yeah. It's G for gangster because it is so gangster. I cannot tell you how cool. But it's I've adopted that as one of my wagons. But the Audi wagon thing, like, I love the car, and we couldn't get the RS4 wagon out here, but I also used the car as a way to leverage the car for my LA Car Spotter brand. Mm-hmm. So after I had kind of established that I was doing LA Car Spotter stuff, like the LA, yeah, I'm sure I'll tell you the story of how it came about, but
Sure.
basically I was just like, how do I not just pigeonhole myself to the supercar, hypercar community? Like, I know Audis have a huge, strong community, like Audi Group, and wagons are just like on the skyrocket, and I feel like I've always loved wagons, so I felt like I was kind of on the beginning of that Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know, like wagons have turned into Bitcoin, and like, you know, all these companies dropping wagons. So like, yeah, I just like have enjoyed
Stay
that.
ahead of the
and
curve.
so yeah, but then like there's an off-road community, and the all-road kind of like has off-road routes.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, and Audi has off-road routes, like four-wheel drive routes. So there's just like so
rally
many
routes for
different
sure.
there's so many different cultures that this car was able to be a tangent to, and that's why I specifically chose that car.
It's totally smart.
And also like the green, like everybody now is sending me like every Ferrari that comes out is like green with gold wheels now, which was like my original plan for my car. But yeah, it's just, I feel like I kind of got in on the on the ground floor,
sure.
and I tried to like access these different groups, and it was really successful with the car.
I'm with you. I'm a wagon guy. Have been a wagon guy forever. Estate cars, they used to be called when I was a kid. Station wagons really meant like, oh, you would drive that to the train station and where you would leave. It was like the car you didn't care about. You know what I mean? Again, in Connecticut,
It was a
like totally
utility
common.
car.
Yeah, but
It
you would
was
take
like a SUV.
It 100% was. Yeah, before SUVs, Jeeps were the only SUVs back
Exactly.
then. Suburbans and stuff, maybe. I don't know. I've always been a wagon guy, and I feel like the car guys were always wagon guys. And I feel like something's going on in this country where they finally got hip to it, because wagons have been big in other countries for forever, but I feel like the Americans were always like, nope, not cool. Nope, they're
it's
not.
part
It's
of, like-
a wife's car. It's a wife's car.
I think it
Nanny car.
hugely has to do with like the anti-SUV movement of like people moving into crossovers and into slightly more utilitarian cars, but also offer that type of performance. Like obviously in Europe, a lot of these people, one of the biggest things or one of the biggest reasons, the driving forces behind wagons in Europe is the fact that like most of these people don't have room to park multiple cars or can afford multiple cars. So like a lot of these people have tiny little homes with tiny little garages, you know, and that one car has to do the work of all the cars.
You need the utility.
So it's got to
of
be the SUV, it's got to be the sports car, it's got to be the dinner car, so it's got to look good, it's got to be fast, and it's got to be big. So like the wagon is worldwide just like known as being kind of like the all around best kind of car.
Yeah.
And then in the States, we've just kind of been like, oh, let's build our big trucks. And like, if it's not a truck,
American, yeah.
then it's a crossover. It's for pussies. And like, you know, if it's a wagon, it's for grandmas and soccer
Your
moms.
wagon,
and-
where's the beef? That's where
Yeah,
that comes in
exactly.
again. Yeah.
I mean, I have a tricycle on the top of my wagon,
Oh, it's
so
the
it doesn't
big, like a big
help
wheel. It's the
that it's
best.
a dad car, and then I got this tricycle, so then I get asked all the time, like, "Oh my God, is that your son's?" I told you, I'm like, "Yeah, I just strap my son to the top,
on
and we
there.
go for cruises in the canyons. He loves it."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just
Only on
like,
PCH in the canyons.
totally.
We don't go on the highway.
But I think that, I mean, just I've always been a wagon fan. I think wagons are like the best, and I'm loving that wagons and the wagon community is like coming alive.
Oh, well, Magnus helped the other day too with his the next big thing, doing an episode on wagons. That was nice.
Yeah. Like the 300 TD, like come on, are you serious? That was like the greatest thing.
Totally.
I wish I had like the E320 is in New York. It's in a garage. It's
Stored?
like yeah,
The
so it's
Gloria
like,
car?
Yeah, so because I don't have a garage out here, so both my cars are parked outside,
wow.
and yeah, so
Oh, you mentioned you got to do the other side of the street. cleaning
yeah, I mean
with the
one car's
Lexus.
parked in the lot, and then one car's in the street. But either way, neither of them are in a garage.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to ruin that car by bringing it out here. So it's at my grandmother's house, still like in her garage. She just can't
Safe.
drive it. But oh yeah, my parents have taken the battery thing out and told her that it's dead, and she's just like, oh, my car's not. But yeah, grandma doesn't drive anymore.
That's probably good. How old is Grandma?
Grandma,
Can we say?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be the worst grandson, but she's like 90 plus.
Wow. Well, I mean, she shouldn't be driving anymore. Then good for her. She did
No,
plenty of
she's
driving.
definitely not in
Plenty of
driving
driving.
condition. But yeah,
That's
she
awesome.
didn't. She went kicking and screaming. She wasn't happy about it.
Well, God bless her for still being around. Speaking of kicking
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
and maybe screaming.
Oh,
But
yeah,
thank
hell
God she's still around. Good for her. 90 years old.
Absolutely.
It's tough
God
growing up. East Coast
bless.
winters, especially on the island, are rough.
Oh hell yeah.
I don't know if she's on the island still. but,
No,
like,
she is.
rough.
She lives like very close to where I grew up. And
The hottest humid hot. You get the New York City humidity for some reason, and then you get this crazy ass jet stream of cold in the winter
It's so
where it just
true.
becomes bitter cold. It's like there's no protection for
If-
the island. Connecticut has inland. Long Island has more water
Yeah.
and then nothing till Connecticut.
Yeah.
totally.
It's just like it.
100%.
You're
We get
our
the
shelter.
hottest. We get the
You were our
hottest
shelter.
summers, and we get the coldest winters, and it's so brutal.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to be out here in LA.
What do your people from home think? You mentioned the opposite before. What do your people from home think? Like, this asshole is driving again. He's out there by the ocean.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, my friends are all jealous because they're, it's just warm and stuff here. But
Do
a
people
lot
come
of them,
visit?
yeah,
know it's
people come
different right
visit.
now,
Yeah,
but-
absolutely. People come visit, and that's like one of the best things. Or it's been obviously limited because of travel, and people have either decided they don't give a shit and they're just going to travel all the time. So I've had a couple friends come and visit me like
Oh, wow.
4 or 5 times out here. And then other people, are just like, I'm just absolutely not traveling until one day they decide, it's over and we're just going to travel and act as if. But
Wait till the all clear siren blows.
yeah, exactly. But
Everybody can come out now.
I mean, I'm like I'm kind of one of those people in the fact that like I've literally told everybody that's asked me to fly somewhere. I'm just like, nah, COVID. but it's
He's on the couch.
yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, everybody enjoys the having a person to come out here to visit, so like, but
That's why I asked. The first year I moved out, first like 5 years.
Yeah, now
really,
they have
I
an
moved out here,
excuse.
Everybody came out multiple times.
Totally.
Everybody
everybody has like an excuse to come out here. They have a couch and stuff to crash on and
Yep.
and all that good stuff. My father moved to Florida, so he's actually chilling in the sun right now.
Where in Florida?
He lives
My
in
mother-
West Palm.
Okay, my mother's down there in Punta Gorda, not
Oh,
far from
okay.
West, just I think south, somewhere, same area. How
I
about
don't,
that?
I don't know. I know
We gotta get
literally
these two
West
kids
Palm.
together.
Yeah, right. He's single and ready to mingle.
My mother sent me pictures of her boat today, or videos of her boat. She's
Ooh,
giving a
must be
tour of her new
nice.
boat. I know.
Does she charter it, or is she like?
No, she owns.
She's
a
just
boat.
balling
She
and-
owns. I guess this is a funny
She's
story.
just a
She
big-
and- I guess she and her
Game fishing.
She and her boyfriend bought a big boat. They have a small boat in the back of their yard because I guess Punta Gorda has like canals and stuff. So like,
Okay.
it's that kind of
Yeah, yeah,
community,
yeah.
like Venice.
Yeah.
Venice for Trump.
Yeah.
That was a sidetrack. I'm so sorry. But no, then they got this boat. They bought a boat together or something, and then it's a bigger boat, so it's somewhere else. But she just went to go have lunch on it or something, so she gave me a tour of it on video today. I didn't mean to make this
Must be
about that.
nice.
Sorry. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
Sounds like mom's living the dream. Where's your boat? Right.
Someday that'll be my boat.
I know.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah. It's like I got that wagon,
That's
It's like one
literally what
day
I was
that'll
thinking
be my
of.
boat.
That was my thinking. That was my callback. All right. There was things I actually wanted to talk to you about. Hang on. Let's be professional here because let's talk about the LA Car Spotter Instagram, and then also you just started a new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how it's going for you. I'm curious what your goals are. I'm curious what you're doing on them. I want to let everybody know. Blah 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 blah. all that
Totally.
stuff. We should promote a little bit here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I love all the promotion I can get, but to be completely honest, the LA Car Spotter thing just came kind of serendipitously. Like I have a mixed group of friends from home, and when I moved out here, when I say a mixed group, I just mean like as far as interests. I have people that just aren't as into cars as I am. And
Oh,
into
yeah.
totally other things that I've been into because I just have a
Varied interests.
varied interests.
Yeah, I'm
exactly. So,
Interesting
yeah,
people
I'm
generally
smart.
are. No, I said I'm similar.
Oh, I thought
I'm
you
similar.
said, yeah, I'm smart. I
Yeah, I'm
found that
smart.
word. That was my word. No, but I've kind of like I've done a bunch of different things. I've kind of been into different things. So like I just have a bunch of different groups of friends. And then when I moved out here, I've always been really into cars, but not all of my friends have been.
Yeah, you gotta segregate. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I mean,
Like, by
I moved
interest,
out
sorry.
here. I don't segregate my
I
friends.
heard it. It's awful. I apologize.
No, but I like
I pre-apologize.
you're canceled. I'm done with this show.
Bye. That was a Chris Farley moment.
Yeah, I didn't know how delicate this was, so I didn't
No,
want to
you're
push
fine.
it.
I love it.
No,
anytime
but
somebody goes.
all right. So when I moved out here, I moved really close to Beverly Hills. I was living in West Hollywood, kind of like borderline Beverly Hills, like San Vicente, where like Catches and the
Yeah.
Pacific Design Center and stuff. So every single time I would leave my house and go to work or come back and get closer to my house, it was just like supercars and like just everything. You know how it is when you're out here and you're just driving around and you get towards like the hot spots of
People wouldn't
cars.
believe you.
They wouldn't believe
People from home wouldn't
until
believe you
I
if
put
you
it on my phone that I was like, what? And also at the time, like Rolls Royces and G-Wagon, AMG G-Wagons and like basically like everything fancy was cool. Because for me, you saw fancy cars, like I said, like a couple weeks out of the year, like we still had
And in
crazy
one place,
shit.
you had to go find
yeah,
them.
we still had really crazy stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Shines are from a town over from me, and they have that white F1 and a whole bunch of other stuff. And now, you know, Mike lives out here, and I just saw him yesterday. He's driving a Carrera GT. And
show up to Caffeine and Carburetors, you'll see some high ticket items for
exactly.
sure. You know,
But the truth is that it's just like the amount of cars you just don't see in that volume. So when I came to LA and I was living close to Beverly Hills, it was just like car. And because I like cars, I was just like taking out my phone and take a picture and post it on Instagram because at that point, that's what people did. I
we
mean,
do.
like we had already gotten
This is
into
my
the
life.
Yeah, exactly. We'd gotten into the role because it only started about 3 or so years ago. My whole LA car spotter thing.
oh
So like,
wow, that's
yeah.
awesome.
I haven't been doing it forever. I loved cars, but I was never into taking pictures of cars. And I'm still not super into taking pictures of cars, but like I love cars.
What a shame.
No, some people are
You're
like,
quite good at it.
"What are you? I hired you to take a picture of my car. You don't like it?" No, but like I just liked cars. So when I would see a car, I would post it on my Instagram. And what was happening is that I was flooding my friends' feed because they were chronological at the time. And
Oh, right.
and they were like, dude, what the hell? Like, I get it. You like cars, but like you're blowing up my feed with cars. So I'm like, let me do you a favor. I'll separate it.
Oh,
since I see so
he
many
did it. You
cars.
see that?
Since I see so many cars, for my own like record keeping of all the cool cars I see in LA, let me just make this. And yeah, I separated them with a P. And I said, if you like cars, you can follow my car page. I'll stop boring you guys because if
It's
you
the only fair thing to do. Like, really, you found the best possible solution.
because the biggest reason is when I left New York, I was heavy in the fashion community and sneaker community. Like I was working for Kith, which is like a sneaker and clothing boutique, and it's just kind of like hype beast central. So most of my friends were like
Folks who
super
hang out at Undefeated, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Got it.
Like exactly. So most of my friends were like fashion people. I was a clothing stylist, and most of my friends were super into fashion and clothing and
Do you know
stuff
Sean
like that.
Avery by any chance?
Why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah, that's him right there. He was a New York Ranger for a bit, but I didn't know if he's into all that same stuff, and he's pretty famous in the. She worked with him. I didn't mean to.
No, I mean
stall
maybe
that out. Oh,
I was,
pull the plug, sure.
I was gonna say maybe we can like
Sorry.
bring that up after because I definitely he sounds familiar. I want to know. Well, yeah,
It's
so-
my bad. I'm terrible at this. Sorry.
Well, now I'm lost. You lost me.
You were really into fashion and stuff.
Yeah, so I was into fashion. Well, I
She used to
mean,
work with
most of
DJ
my-
AM. He was just, no, just kidding. That was
No,
that was
I-
on purpose.
No,
Sorry.
rest in peace.
He was a sneakerhead though.
Absolutely, and like he was huge. I mean, he was a big figure. I love AM. It's funny that you mentioned it because I fucking love DJ AM.
Seriously?
Like, I'm a huge AM fan.
Oh, that is well. Then
And
I'm,
I know,
I'm
like-
glad I brought it up, even though it was a joke.
Yeah, no, and like I have some friends who were friends with him, and like I'm super jealous of them for like knowing him as well as they did. And yeah, AM was a absolute
Wow.
master.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. You know,
I'm like, let's be serious.
I'm sorry for your
let's
loss.
Promote
I'm
your
really-
stuff over here. I'm like,
No,
no, she worked with him. I never met him. I just saw him on Entourage.
yeah. No, AM has nothing to do with my stuff.
You being sneaker and fashion oriented.
So if you look at like my personal Instagram, you'll see that it's just like sneakers and me and clothes and like dogs and like just art and stuff like that. So that's like my personal kind of interest, and then car stuff just kind of took over. Like totally took over, because then I started posting a bunch of cars, and then the LA Car Spotter thing just kind of like started to catch on. And before I knew it, I had 1,000 followers, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, so people have found my page, and I've been finding cool cars. And then slowly but surely, I was like, if I have like 1,000, I can definitely have like a few thousand.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like actively trying to, my friend brought me to, what was it? At the time, it was at a mall, the mall in Topanga, like Topanga.
Oh, the old Supercar Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like my buddy brought me to that show, and that really set it off, because I was like, this is every Sunday, every week of
That
the
was
year.
ridiculous. Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was
this
amazing.
is crazy. So
Yeah.
I was going to that every Sunday, and then people were like, yo, there's other shows also. And I'm like, wait, like this weekend? Like today? Like, so Saturday and Sunday, there's shows every weekend? What world do I live in? I'm from New York. We see cars twice a year. What the? So I like flipped a shit. Started going to every single car show that I could, and I was taking pictures of every single crazy car. And yeah, I put it up on LA Car Spotter. By the time I hit like 5,000 followers, then like Aston Martin Newport Beach hit me up, and they were like, hey, we get the DBS Superleggera. We love what you've been doing. Would you mind like coming through to take pictures? I'm like, shit, now I have to buy a camera.
Right. Because they're going to expect me to have a.
Because they're going to show up with my cell phone. And
what
they're
I
going to
was
be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Let me just put this filter on.
yeah. Like, so yeah, I started to have to slowly step my photography game up. So it was never about, oh my God, let me make photo shoots or take the best photo that I can of this car. It was
It
more
wasn't
just
about
like
the beauty shots.
it was just about seeing it in the wild. And like my stories, I think, are what carried the brand, or what kind of brought the LA Car Spotter brand to life, and like my personality to the brand was like people seeing my drive home, and I'm just like, whoop, Ferrari, whoop, like Lamborghini, Rolls Royce. And they're just like, holy crap, this was like one trip home. Like, this was just like one drive. So I was like, I can take a couple laps. Maybe I should take some more laps. And then
Yeah.
just like, maybe go to more shows, and connections and relationships and networking and friendships. And one thing led to another. And
God, that's awesome.
so YouTube is, because the amount of people that I know now through the car community, a lot of them do YouTube or help produce content or help, give cars to people. So I've been told a number of times to get my content on YouTube, not only because just it works well with YouTube, just like car after car after car people.
I think it's perfect for YouTube.
Yeah, I
because
mean-
you can just go down the rabbit hole, let the stream do its thing.
Yeah, and also like a lot of times someone on YouTube, they're talking about one car, and someone wants to fast forward to the one piece of information they want to hear about that one car. Where on mine, it's like, what's he going to spot in the next 30 seconds, the next 20 seconds, or 10 seconds after that? So it's like, there's a bit of like surprise that you just never know what's going to be there.
Yeah, you can't fast forward through it. You got to watch it.
But also like the amount of engagement that I get, and the type of the caliber of cars that I'm able to see, just because of being in LA, but also because of like friendships that I've made through the car shows and networking and being strategic about it to a certain extent, without like losing the funness of it.
That's a tough balance.
That's the hardest thing, because I know so many people that are out here struggling, trying to be like how do I get so many followers? How do I do this? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Stop trying so hard. Like, just love it.
That's my answer.
Just
Do
enjoy it.
Right.
And if you're not enjoying it, do something else. Or if it's like don't say I want to be the YouTube guy. Be the car guy and have the YouTube stuff come. You know, because like the people that I know that are, I mean, like, literally, not to offend anybody that might be listening that's like actively trying to pursue a YouTube career or like a content creation career, but like I see so many people try to get into the YouTube game or try to like be the next YouTuber, and are less focused on like how much they're enjoying car stuff and how much they're enjoying what they're doing.
Then the heart gets sucked out
and
of the
then
content.
they get stressed out about like, oh, I got to make content. I got to be here. I got to get this. I got to post this video on this day. I got to like, there's a business and a strategy behind YouTube. And once you get up to those numbers and you have to start, you know, analyzing all your analytics and everything and strategic,
Feeding the algorithm and all
yeah,
that.
I mean, like Tim Shmee 150 is one of the biggest automotive YouTubers. And like, I mean, he's got
Tim Shmee?
Shmee 150.
Okay.
His name is Tim, but everybody calls him Shmee because his account's name is Shmee.
Awesome.
And I'm pretty sure it's like Shmee from Hook, like from Captain Hook's buddy Shmee. Well, like, yeah, like he's a British guy and like he's got millions of subscribers, but he does like, he plans it out, and a lot of his YouTube content comes from like working with different brands and kind of planning out his trips on cars that he's going to see. But
It's a machine.
I'm
It's a
kind of
business
getting
machine.
sidetracked, but he has like, there's a whole business behind it. But he started off with like car spotting, and it kind of just naturally grew because people liked and engaged with his content. You know, like I didn't see like tiny small little kids and they're like, you know, like I want to be the next big YouTuber. And I'm like, just love cars. Like still share your content, but just love what you're doing more than producing the content. And then like you might fall into something else.
Yeah.
Like,
It's tough to take that advice.
yeah,
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying,
because
but
of, like-
on the other side of it, it's very difficult to take that advice.
so like, and like I definitely tried to grow an audience, and I've been strategic about what I do and what I post, and
Are you careful like about the times you post and all that stuff?
yes and no. I mean, like, I care very little about that, you know. Like I make sure that like I'm not posting at like 3 a.m. when like I'm awake, you know.
Within reason.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm not like super crazy about it.
You're not going nuts with the algorithm.
But like my stuff has kind of grown very organically and very quickly that other people have reached out. They're like, oh my God, how did you do it? And I was just like, I really love cars. That's how I did it. And people notice that I really love cars. So they like tune into my content because they see my passion.
That's it.
And I am not losing my passion about cars. I mean, being jaded by seeing 6 Koenigsegg's in one place is
It's not
definitely
even fun anymore.
it's definitely kind
How many
of like
did you see the Senate? Which one?
exactly. It's desensitized me to a certain extent, but like I'm always excited when I see cars. I'm always like I'm so oftentimes like forget to take pictures because I'm so busy looking at the cars or like talking to people at the car shows.
That happens all the time. Yeah.
Like all the time. Like people are like, how many pictures did you get of that MC12 that was there at the thing on La Brea? I'm like, I got like 3 pictures because the car is so nice that all I wanted to do was look at it and not take pictures.
But that's the guy who does love cars.
Exactly.
That's the guy who's not tripping over the content aspect of
So
it.
my YouTube people are not only saying your content is good for YouTube, but also how are you monetizing? That's like the biggest question because everybody wants, that's the That's what is on everybody's mind. Everybody that wants to be the next
YouTube
YouTuber.
looks fun. Can you make money at it?
Well,
That's what everyone says.
they're all like, it's not even that YouTube looks fun. They see these guys. They're like, yo, this guy is a full-time YouTuber and he's got like all these supercars, like Tim. He's got a Senna and a 4GT and a this and a that, but he started with a Renault Clio.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my God, Damon from Daily Driven Exotics has like 3 or 4 Lamborghinis. He just bought his daughter a Lamborghini. He's like, you know, they just like are stuck on the fact that these people are now making money from it, but they don't understand that this came from like an organic growth because people saw their passion in the thing that they were also passionate about, and that's how you grow your community.
Yeah.
If you're focused on like, how do I monetize, then like you're just always gonna be focusing on monetizing.
Yeah.
You'll never, even when you get there.
The YouTube content specifically is very tough because there's no, television. There's ratings and there's censors and there's broadcast standards and practices. YouTube, you can do anything you want. You can put, as long as you don't have nudity or
weren't you the
whatever
one
heck.
talking about Viceland and
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want. You like
No, but
you
point
can literally do whatever the hell you want.
My point being with that is the entertainment business has been around long enough where they sort of weeded out some of the issues of like, some people shouldn't be entertainers. Some people, that's not their skill set. Some people are business people who
Totally.
like, they're metrics people and here's the stats and whatever the fuck. But some people don't necessarily have the art or the love or the creative drive in it to connect with what I find in your content and like content like yours that I'm drawn to. It is the passion that you were talking about before. People can tell that you're really into this. It's not bullshit. Sometimes somebody gets into the YouTube thing because like, oh, this will be good. I will be able to. It's a business. I'll just rent a house and I'll put YouTubers in each room and we'll have a whole thing here and it's a metric and it'll work.
Yeah.
There's no heart in any of that stuff, and I guess some of that stuff does work. You can probably play the metrics game, but like that's
Eventually,
not the content.
eventually they're gonna. That's only gonna go so far.
It's a short game
Because
exactly.
also like I've seen this way too much. The people that are like car YouTubers don't even know that much about cars. They might know a lot about like their car and like things that like within their car community, but they're totally inept to like other cars or other, even the cars that they're talking about. They may be like car people or like enjoy driving and going, and like, I don't want 100% like discredit those people because a lot of people really just like driving their car, or they got a car and they're not like, oh my God, let me figure out every single nut and bolt and what this thing does. And let me go get involved with like every single car community. Some people drive a
Read the
Porsche because
manual.
they know it's fast and they know it's fun. And like, they're not looking to do anything to it or join any clubs. They just want to drive a fast, fun car.
Yeah,
And they don't know
most of them. I would
yeah,
say.
and they don't know everything about it, whatever. But if you're going to be presenting yourself as like a knowledge base for the automotive community or a representative for the automotive community, you better have the know-how or something to back it up,
Yes, and you're exactly saying what I should have said. Like, you used to need an FCC license to do this job. Now
Totally.
anybody can just do it. You don't need any kind of credibility or any kind of diploma or anything to be like, hey, this guy, you can trust him. He knows what he's talking about, and we
And
stamped him.
yeah.
But we've approved him. He's been vetted.
And that's the beauty of YouTube is that like
It's the beauty?
Well, it's another thing that's like a gift and a curse is like anybody with a camera and a microphone can throw some shit up on there, but you as a viewer have the ability to choose the content that you're watching. And you have a way more specialized content on YouTube because the experts are also people that have cameras and microphones.
Yeah.
So you can say this person doesn't know shit. I'm
Interesting.
glad I watched that because this guy doesn't know shit, and I'm going to find somebody who does. And
You're intelligent and you can make that decision, but if somebody doesn't have the information and they just click on the one video, you know what I mean? It's one of those like, how
100%, because
spreading
also like
disinformation.
the vast majority of the YouTube viewers are young kids, and the like
looking for education
yeah,
on
and
the topic.
and the thing is that like these platforms, they reward you for viewership and not other things. They don't reward you for being a knowledge base or getting your facts right. They reward you for how many people watch your channel and how
Yeah.
long. So if you're pandering to an extremely young audience, it doesn't matter if you're getting your facts right or if you're like that deep into things, as long as you're producing content that grabs their attention. And but you as a viewer can decide if you're going to watch the crap or you're going to watch the good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
It's hard to find though, because the algorithm decides a lot of what you watch, especially on YouTube, unless you're searching for it, content. A lot of times
Totally.
it's kind of like, oh well.
I'm not a big YouTube guy, which is also another reason why I just started my YouTube page now and not 3 years ago or earlier.
I think you did it right. I think it worked out well for you.
You know what's interesting?
Because you built an audience first of
Yeah,
50,000
and
followers or whatever.
I have one introductory LA car spotter video, and I've posted a bunch of these like shorts what YouTube has now, which are just like basically like the TikTok and the
Reels,
Reels
yeah.
kind of thing. I'm about to post my second like spotting video, or my first like real spotting video, and I already have over 4,000 subscribers.
Beauty.
And
Beauty.
like that has been just like natural engagement through like my stories, my Instagram, and
throwing them
my
there from the
my
Insta.
yeah. But a lot of it is also from those shorts on YouTube and just people being like, oh wow, look at all these cars and stuff, So if you just want to ingest content, like I'm not spitting facts on anything, I'm just showing cars and stuff. So
yeah.
like you can just ingest content if you want to get
I
knowledge.
love that. No, 100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
But like you said, like I don't use YouTube in a way that like I just let it scroll. I'm very intentional about like the content that I'm looking for on YouTube, whether it's somebody I've subscribed to or it's something I'm trying to learn or it's some review of an item I'm trying to buy. I'm
Yeah.
super intentional about that, and you could kind of figure it out, like if somebody's got a few 100,000 or a million followers, there's a good chance they know what they're talking about because at some point they're going to get called out. Like you said, it's a short game.
Yeah.
If you don't know that much, people are just going to you're just going to die out there. The comments are vicious. Like the comment section. Yeah, you gotta want to do it, and you gotta have
Comments are vicious. You're right
like
about that.
you gotta have a
Comments are
tough
vicious.
skin. You gotta have a tough skin, especially if you're the kind of guy that isn't gonna know his shit front to back, and like that. If you're gonna screw up the name of a car, and you don't know the name of a car, but you probably should, and you're like, well, the viewers will know this car, and they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Next, but there's different platforms.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting to kind of, now that I'm in social media stuff and people follow, like, I don't know, I just never expected it to happen like that, So, but it did. So now I feel like I have to leverage different platforms.
Yeah.
And TikTok has been really interesting as a platform.
You're on TikTok too?
Yeah, so the only reason that I bring it up is because they actually make a very clear distinction between content creators and content ingestors, or
Really?
like
Consumers?
content viewers and consumers. Because on TikTok, like YouTube, they pay you because they put ads on your thing and however many people have watched your video, and that's how like they pay you.
Right.
TikTok also pays you based on like viewership, but they don't have like ads. A lot of people don't know that TikTok pays you, but you can create. TikTok is the lifeblood is the creators. Just like YouTube, they're like there wouldn't be a YouTube if there weren't people creating content. So with TikTok, there are people creating content, but there are people that are just viewing content and not there. Like there's always, they'll have a picture, so they'll have a couple pictures of their friends fucking around and whatever, but like they're not trying to be content creators. But there is a huge community of people now these days that are trying to be content creators. Young kids, older people, hobbyists, like everybody's trying to share their skills or their knowledge because they see that other people are interested in what they're interested in and that there could be money in it and shit like that. But TikTok basically is influencing people to create on their platform by paying you. So they have what's called a creator fund. So they don't put ads on your TikToks and stuff like that. They just pay you based on your views. It's extremely nominal. It's like I made just under $100 in February from like my TikToks, but that's like I have multiple videos with like over 1 million views.
Wow.
You know, and like hundreds of thousands of views and stuff. So it's super minuscule, but like they're.
I didn't realize you were big on TikTok too. Forgive me.
I'm not big on TikTok. I'm not big on TikTok. To be honest, I did.
Well, millions of views sounds.
Listen, I did TikTok for like 2 weeks, like about a year ago. I did it for like 2 weeks. It scared the shit out of me because it's so all over the place.
I
it's
downloaded
so
the
made.
app. I had to delete it
it's
the
made
moment
for
I couldn't
for
do it.
16-year-olds and younger.
Yes.
And I couldn't. I did it for 2 weeks. I got 12,000 followers and hundreds of thousands of. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't do it. There were like so many. I'm just like. I try to reply to somebody's comment and it doesn't like. It's not like
In the queue.
it's so weird, but it's just like I felt like a little kid, like I felt like an old man, and I needed a little kid to explain it
Yeah.
to me. You know,
all of
and
a
I'm
sudden
just
I
like,
can't program the VCR.
exactly. So I
how I
stopped
feel.
using it,
Yeah.
and then like I looked back at it, you know, like almost a year later, and I was at like I don't know 17,000, and it had gained a few thousand
Without you even doing anything.
without
it kept
me even
going
doing
up?
anything. It kept going up. Just the videos were kind of like circulating. But then I was like, let me just try this again. And I got back into it like 2 months ago, and now I'm at like 35,000.
Oh
and
my
like,
God!
Yeah,
you doubled the 17. Gee
literally in
whiz.
like a month. So like the engagement is absolutely insane. The way that this platform has created a way to just throw content at you. Just when the content you're looking for is over, it automatically has the next one. And that's what Reels is.
Oh my
and
God.
it's just it's
the worst thing in my life.
rabbit holes, man.
Let me
Just
keep
black
your
holes. Have
attention.
you ever
It's
fallen into a YouTube black hole? Like fucking go on TikTok and then you'll really find a black and it's stupid shit. It's the stupidest shit. It's just people pouring water into a glass until it overflows and then keeping pouring it until somebody behind them smacks them. And like it's just pranks and bullshit trends, and it's just
In the old days, there used to be a certain allotted amount of black space after, like, between a show and the commercial break and the commercial starting, all that stuff.
for
There
your
used-
brain to process.
For whatever reason. Call it maybe for the equipment to reload. Whatever it is. There was a reason. There used to be a thing. And we have shrunken that down to goddamn nothing. And now we're talking about literally nothing where they don't even, there's no break at all, just content to content to content. Do we at some point just get to a point where, like, what's the peak of the interest of this content? We'll interrupt it right here, start this one. If somebody wants to go back, they can.
Totally.
Like,
So
I'm
that's
out.
where the strat. That's
Out.
so like
So
this is what
meta.
I'm trying to figure out. This is part of like the strategy I'm talking about is that there are multiple different platforms for content creators. So not only do you have to kind of choose which platform you're really going to go for, because trying to spread yourself to all the different platforms, you're going to spread yourself super thin, and you're never going to be able to do everything. But if you do it the right way, you have a video of a car, you make sure you have an Instagram of it, you take a TikTok of it, or this or that, whatever. Like you make sure that you kind of get it all out in like one shot, or like know what your content's going to be. But also, yeah, like just choose your platform.
So much work to even
It's just-
get so far ahead of it that way,
it's-
though.
it-
you
well,
know what I mean? Like, you
100%.
create, You do know what I mean.
Because I make content, people steal content and people use content.
Yeah.
So when I go on one of the biggest reasons that I went back onto TikTok is because I went on TikTok and on a couple of supercar pages, I noticed that they were just taking my Instagram videos, putting them on TikTok, putting different music to them, not crediting me,
No
and
way.
just seeing just like
Do they put
tons
different-
of my videos on and just like
Putting different music makes it their own. Is that the idea?
not even
Or
that
you
they
get
were
around the
claiming
copyright?
ownership, but that they might just be like a supercar repost type of page that just like uses people's content so that
Collective,
just like let me just aggregate all of this information for you to make it easier on you as a supercar fan. But like as a content creator, I'm just like, thanks for stealing my shit
Yeah.
and not giving me credit.
It would have been nice if they still came to my page.
Yeah, so it's kind
They
of
built the
also
freeway
like
around Cars Land.
it's also like let me just throw some shit on the wall so that when somebody comes here to say, like when I say, oh, that's mine, that I have proof to say that's mine. It's also part of it. It's just like, hey, I'm here on this platform. I'm aware that people are using content of
That's
mine.
really what it is. I'm just standing up. Hey guys, I'm still here.
Yeah. So that's having a presence is important just to make sure that like people aren't taking advantage of your content.
There were a bunch of questions, but we have gone so long already. 'Cause I find you totally interesting. But the one I
just
have
a-
to ask,
I'm super-
is from the speed.
Speedy Guidi?
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, I already know what it is.
Ask him if he'd rather have permanent Cheeto dust on his fingers or have muffins for hands.
It's obvious Cheeto dust. Okay?
You'd rather
Because
have Cheeto dust?
I would rather have Cheeto dust. How do you grip a steering wheel with muffins?
I don't know how you would do that.
I just
But
can't
Cheeto
be
dust is
Michael
rough.
Fuchs and get a white interior and a white steering wheel. And I'll be Cheeto fingers all day. Cheeto fingers for me.
Do you enjoy Cheetos? Where did that come from?
I don't have a particular affinity for Cheetos. I think that this is a standard question of his.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Does he throw that out at
Yeah,
people?
I knew it was coming. I want you to ask a different question because that was
That's amazing.
wow. Lorenzo.
What cars have you owned? You told us some of them before, and it sounds like it's going to be a long ass list.
I told you most of them before, and out
It sounds
here,
like they range from some pretty cool to just kind of medium generic.
yes, like and I always try to make them like my own. So even other than like the 91 Nissan Sentra, everything has kind of been customized. Even my 98 Mercury Mountaineer, which was
Ford Explorer, right?
yeah, it was a Ford Explorer, but it had a 5-liter engine. It was like a Eddie Bauer edition.
Full leather,
and
everything,
Full
yeah.
leather, everything.
It was like a
Full
limo
wood
inside.
grain. And I had a pop-out screen, like a pop-out Alpine head unit. I had a J&L subwoofer in the back that would set
I
off
remember
car
those.
alarms.
Yeah.
And I had PlayStation.
pass.
I had PlayStation in behind the driver's seat, so the PlayStation was
car?
running
Play
on the
on the
head unit. So
screen,
we
sure.
would post up. I know Matt Farrow was here. We had our wellness. We got our wellness on.
Oh, good.
I know Matt likes to kind of post up and
Matt is
get
very
his wellness
healthy.
on.
Well,
So
they have a new sponsor also.
exactly. So
Tradecraft.
So we used to just get well in my car and play video games.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
like
Wait, did you know Matt back home? Have you
no,
know-
no.
Oh, okay,
I
out
just
here.
know him like from car stuff and a handful of mutual friends and stuff.
But was he with you in your car?
No,
Or
no,
you-
no,
Oh, I thought-
no.
Did you? Was that, am
No,
I the
it
only
was-
one?
I apologize if
You said, hey, you know Matt Farrow.
No,
He was-
you know
I
what
could-
it was? I was watching Matt's episode of this show.
He was smoking his pen, wasn't he? Somebody
Well,
said he was
it wasn't
smoking his
even
pen the
that.
whole
It was
time.
just like in the beginning, there was a part of it where he was talking about going to see fireworks, and he was like, "Where I grew up, I would always go to Adventureland
Playland.
or Playland or
Yeah,
something."
from Big.
Adventureland was long.
It was.
Yeah, He's like, if you saw that movie, Adventureland, that's Long Island.
The
but
kid from the Social Network.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. So,
I did see that movie.
but so I was watching his episode, and he said that he would oftentimes just pull up outside
yeah.
there and
Yep.
take part and
Get well and watch.
get well and watch fireworks.
No, health is a good thing.
Exactly. So that's what I did in my car. But I
That's
used
another
to
nice thing about
bump the
California is how
subwoofer.
healthy the laws are about wellness.
Oh, absolutely.
I really appreciate that, especially now that we're into it. It's ironic that we didn't do anything until it was legal, and that was just ironic. It was not intentional.
Yeah, I mean that's like interesting that no, I mean like
Sorry, I'm eating up your time.
I've only no I'm because I've only met so many like adults or grown
Oh.
people that don't partake,
Yeah.
especially out here.
Yeah.
It's just such commonplace that you just almost assume everybody is cool, or else they would live in Texas.
Totally agree with you about that, but I didn't feel that way previously because I just, you know what I mean. When you're on the other side, you don't
For
know,
sure.
you don't know what you don't know how green the grass can be.
Totally, for sure. Don't knock it till you try it. I mean, I was sitting over there, and your lads were like, "Yeah, we don't
You
do
want-
pot," and I was like,
No,
Fucking
she's got
nerd.
it next to me all the time. Oh, but my terminology is way outdated. Yeah.
"Oh yeah." I mean, we smoke pot, some weed. Well, that's another topic. for
Everybody,
another day.
please follow Cody Lewis. It's LA Car Spotter _ Is that correct?
Yeah,
What's up with that?
Some guys got
Bullshit.
LA Car Spotter from like 2013 with like one post. And I DM'd the guy.
followers.
Oh my god, I've DM'd the guy. I've commented on his page. I've even reported his account numerous times to try to just get it taken down.
Yep.
I think I have to like go through Facebook, but yeah, I mean, who cares? It's like
I don't know, but
past
I'm in the
that.
same boat of a lot of those. Like somebody went and eat up. Like we probably can't keep Porsche life.
Listen,
forever.
I'm
Like, we'll
worried
have to
for
change.
my kids and my kids' kids and how they're ever gonna get usernames and emails and like everything's gonna be used up. I can't get Cody Lewis at gmail.com.
Oh, good luck.
No way. You try to get
When
CodyLewis.com?
When I was a kid, they would add numbers, like to the telephone. They would add a
Of
number.
course,
or,
it's the
or,
easy way,
or
but
the
like
license plate.
by
so
the
you'd add a
time
number.
you have like Michael Lewis,
Oh, you know what?
know?
Maybe we'll have Bitleys to all of our usernames
Oh
and
my
everything.
God, yeah.
That's the next thing, right?
Well, when the whole website craze, everybody was buying website domains
yeah.
and all that. Then it was like cars.com, but then it would be like the next wave was like my cars, everything
Oh,
adding
yeah,
my
100%.
to the beginning of all the
real.
way. Yeah, and that was like the way to kind of step it up.
Matt Farah ended up having to buy WCCS, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I know that there's a way to like go through Facebook channels. There's a
It depends on who's
There's
holding
a
and
really
what they
good
want
chance
for it, right?
that this guy is not active on Instagram. I don't even know it's a man or woman, but this person's not active on Instagram, doesn't have isn't getting my DMs and getting this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Unread.
not worried.
Oh well. All right, so it's
I got LACarspotter.com too.
And I would there you go. And I'm thinking also that at the moment you start putting in LA Car Spotter, if the other account is not active, yours is the one that comes up. I'm thinking.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously.
If you type in like LA Car, it'll just come up.
Is YouTube is the same name?
Yep.
Without
LA
the
Car
underscore.
Spotter.
or something?
If you use, I think, if you put LA Car Spotter like with spaces, every time I appear in like other people's videos, and also every LA Car Spotter, anytime those words
Oh,
are
Lord,
included,
that's-
it's just freaking nightmare. So LA Car Spotter like with no spaces is a faster way to get there on YouTube.
That's pretty awesome. I can't Google myself because of my name, just the letter J. Like nothing, it's impossible.
If I
you can't
Google-
me, you have to add a third word if you want to Google me. Like
J.
J.
Ryan?
Ryan DeLorean, J. Ryan Porsche, J. Ryan Late Night. You can't find just J.
But
Ryan.
if you type
Anything.
in late night playset, like this
shows up
comes
now, yeah.
right up
Luckily, we finally had some help with our
with your SEO.
Yeah. Somebody helped us with that.
That's what I do for
Oh.
regular work. It's some
Seriously?
kind
Oh,
of
well,
sort
then
of
you
like
know
in the
about it.
background, but
See, I'm the guy who can't program his VCR, and I'm like, if you believe it, it'll happen.
yeah.
All right, enough of this. I've eaten up your time with my shit enough. You are awesome.
Your show,
Please
man.
come. We've gone over an hour and a half. This is so long. Please come back because I want to talk just cars with you and stuff, and talk about
Totally.
like what you've been seeing, where you're going, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I see crazy stuff.
But this was really fun for like just kind of a holy shit. You're from New York. Hey, we're from that area. Oh man.
Yeah, totally. This is like us chilling and hanging out, and like we probably have another couple episodes about cars one day.
Next time we'll do. That's what happened with Misha Mansour the other day too, and all the people were like, "Wow, it would have been nice if you talked about cars." And it's because he's got a Lambo, he's got a GT3 Touring. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
man,
he's
his
got
GT3 Touring, his
amazing
Miami
cars.
Blue GT3 Touring is so good, and I love that he drives the shit out of it. So when it looks dirty, it looks even better.
So good.
Like
When he brings it up the crest and there's like a couple puddles on the way,
Oh,
it's
man.
perfect.
yeah, I know. I always know it's his. Like when I see him cruising around because it's always got some dirt on it.
Yeah,
like
because he's driven it.
yes.
So everybody go follow LA Car Spotter. I know I've said that a bunch, but it's important. Check out St. Clair Insurance, CoverageFreeToys.com, and CruiseIntoWellness.com. Promo code Late Night for 20% off. That's it. That's all the stuff. We good?
I think
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Dude,
really
I appreciate the invite.
I'm serious about please come back soon. Like in the old days, the talk shows, you didn't need to have stuff to promote. It was just like, oh, they're friends, so they all kind of go on Johnny's show or whatever. Like, we want it to be more like that. So stop by anytime. You know where we are now.
For sure.
Let's see. Thursday, we've got Adam at Large. Adam P. Collins is here. Although I always want to call him Adam P. Collinsworth when I read his full name. Adam P. Collinsworth, the car expert.
It's like a very Swiggins thing.
Adam P.
Just
Collinsworth.
Mike.
But Adam at Large, Adam P. Collins will be here. You probably remember him from Gizmodo, Jalopnik, and he's now rebooting Car Bibles.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
pretty good stuff. So Adam will be here on Thursday. Cool. Love you. We love you. We love all of you. Please love one another, and we'll see you out there.
Much love. Well, this is rock on, and this is I love. So it's like she signed the like Republican and
Oh, geez,
Democratic
sorry about
National
that.
Convention. All that stuff.
We're gonna find my mother.
At least we have like a probably a it's long, yes, it's fine. But you have like you have
They're not dipshits.
yeah, exactly.